Good morning, everybody. Kent Beerley live from the brain center of Pure Focus Sports Club. Deep in the bowels of the of the operation. Sorry, I hear all funny noises. Figured I'd be in a closed room, a little quiet. People out there, I don't want to yell and scream in front of everybody. People think I'm a psychopath. But I'm not going to yell and scream. I have a couple of things I want to talk about. I do want to... Oh, my front desk employee is nuts. I didn't even want to tell you what she just did. So, I want to recap my video from the other day. A lot of people are conjecturing, like, did somebody call me out? Did somebody accuse me? Was I mad at somebody? Was I, like, what got me all fired up? Was I hopped up on Mountain Dew? I love Mountain Dew. Diet, though. Yahoo! Mountain Dew. Who remembers that commercial? Showing my age again. I gotta stop that. But, no, I wasn't hopped up. Actually, that was the end of my workout, so I was like 3 hours post, 2.5 hours post pre-workout. I was not singling that towards anybody that accused me of anything. I was not singling that towards anybody that said I shouldn't be doing anything. I feel sometimes it's my duty, obligation, right, because as I said in the video, this is the United States of America. We have the right to speak freely and openly. So, I'm a thinker. I see things on Facebook. I read things on Facebook. I observe. I'm not very much of a commenter on subjects. I just kind of let them go, and I see everybody's opinion, and of course I have mine. People that know me know I have a lot of opinions on things, and sometimes I'll speak my mind, and sometimes I don't. But this time I just felt it was important. The meaning of my video the other day was it was directed towards the system of bodybuilding, the system of people thinking that what people should do, people pushing people. Like, bodybuilders are a bunch of sheeples. They're just gonna follow the herd because somebody says so. Well, that doesn't happen. That's not what's gonna happen. That can't happen. Because if that does happen, then we'll continually keep going to the same shows, keep continually walking away from that show saying, I'm never going to do that show again. And then what happens? You go back. You know, I'm guilty too. I did the same show 3 times until I finally said, I've had enough. I'm not coming back. But why? Because, you think things will change. Things will get better. Can't get any worse. But usually it does get worse, but yet you keep going. Now, great, some shows are awesome. Some people do the show 10 times in a row. I've done Brian Washington's show in York, Pennsylvania, and it was in Baltimore. I've done that show probably 10 times. Now, I did win at 7. So it's nice to go back when you're the winner. But yeah, I think I did it 10 times. But you go back. I mean, was it always a perfect show? No. Was the lighting always perfect? No, it wasn't always perfect. But yet, the overall show was good. And it was a good way to end the year. I loved it when it was in Baltimore, going down to Inner Harbor. So you go back to places. Muscle Beach, when it was here in local to where I live, NPC show, Muscle Beach, I did that show 3 times. I won it. I won my class once, won the Masters once, I won the overall and Masters the last time they actually had it down locally. Now it's a little further north. It's off for a couple of years. I actually tried speaking to the NPC about making that a natural show, and of course that didn't work out. But the point is, choice. People can do what they want, but somebody needs to direct them, guide them, not direct them, wrong word, guide them to make the right decisions, to make the right choices, not because it's black and white. My wife always tells me that I need to think in the gray. I'm usually a pretty clear-cut guy. Either it's this way or that way. But there are certain situations where you need to think in the gray. You want to do what's right for your client. You want to do what's right for yourself. You want to do what's right for your gym. You want to align yourself with people that can help you, that can promote you, and then in turn you can promote them. It's a win-win situation. There are some good NPC shows out there. There are some good people in that organization. There are some good people in every organization. So my point was basically, as a natural bodybuilder, I want to see the natural bodybuilding shows better as a whole. Not one good one here, one good one there, one good one here, one good one there. It was good last year, it was crappy this year. How do we do that? By putting pressure on them as competitors. Saying, hey, I did your show last weekend and I hated it. And I will never come back. And I have 5 friends that were going to come with me to your next show in the fall, but we're not coming back. If a promoter gets enough of those emails, maybe he'll change his operation. He'll change his system. Now, again, you can compare it. You can talk apples and oranges, NPC to natural shows. The NPC, they have it figured out. People show up. They show up no matter what. There's no infighting. Basically, 9 times out of 10, the shows are basically run decent. There's no fighting amongst different organizations over different rules, different people, who failed this, who failed that. That I would almost think that they'd probably laugh at us. When they sit around and say, hey, did you hear that there was a competitor that failed a drug test in one organization and then he showed up at another organization and they let him compete and now he's part of that organization? You don't think that the NPC laughs at that? I think they laugh at it. I think it's crazy. So, again, I like to reference things from people. I mentioned his name last time. I won't do it this time, but he knows who he is, and he was right. We got to clean up our own house. We want to be respected by the Natural Physique Committee as a viable alternative to their shows. Then we need to clean up our own house. We need to have promoters that care, promoters that, and you could all say you care, but think deep down inside, why do you promote shows? I mean, okay, I really care. Well, think about it. Do you really care? Are you doing it in the best interest of the competitors, best interest of the vendors? When you make a deal with a vendor and your turnout's awful, do you give money back to your vendor because you didn't fulfill your promise to pack the house and have over 80 competitors? Well, I'm not going to ask you for that. I mean, do you or not? I mean, that's, or do you say, hey, deal's a deal? Because then it becomes business. And it is all business. I will admit, it is all business. But it depends on what you're looking out of it for your business. There's a lot of side business, a lot of back-end money that can be made promoting shows. Yeah, I set my shows up. I just don't want to lose money. I want the shows to be good. I want the people to enjoy it. I want the competitors to love it. I want the spectators to love it. Now, obviously, you can't make everybody happy, but if you can make 95% of people happy, then I think that's pretty good. You want your vendors to come back. But how do you do that? By treating them fairly, by running a good show, by coming through on your promise. If you do get a low turnout, if you do have a bad attendance in the audience for whatever reason, it was a nice day, 98 degrees, and it's normally 50, or your local high schools are playing each other and somebody screwed up the schedule and you didn't realize that, then, you have to have conversations with the vendors. Hey, look, I really sorry. Why don't you keep half? I'm pretty good. I can cover the show. But when you walk away and you got $5,000 in your pocket and you're bragging about it, and your payout for your pros was terrible, you advertised $6,000 and it was like $2,500, and then you walk away with $5,000. You have people on stage that actually have tables set up as a vendor. That's a little weird, a little conflict of interest, I would say. You have a judging panel where judges have never judged before. You got the boyfriend or the head judge judging because you couldn't get anybody because you were out of town, wrapped up. I mean, this is all things that have happened over the years. Just, is that how you run a show? People got to come back. Well, crazily, people do come back. Bottom line is, people have a choice. They want to enter a good show. I know there's a lot of good natural promoters out there. A lot. I can't. I mean, the list is huge. But no, just because you're a natural promoter, does that mean that people should come to your show? No, you got to earn it. You got to earn people to show up at your show. You have to earn it. You have to show the competitors what you're all about. And that's what we see, in the Anbf. I mean, yeah, who the hell, people down in Key West don't know who the Anbf is. People in Texas don't know who the Anbf is. They don't know who we were. People in North Carolina didn't know who we were. They know me. I went down there, we talked. We had 20 people first show, 40 people second show. So we did something right. So, no. Nobody accused me of taking steroids. Nobody said I was a jerk for doing an NPC show. No one said anything. The message that I was sending was to the system. To fix the system. But we want to have 8 natural bodybuilding organizations. That's fine. But fix your system. It all starts in your own house. Fix how you operate. Fix your image. Fix how people perceive you. Don't hide your head in the sand and act like these things don't happen, because they do happen. And hopefully there's a lot of people that are listening to this that are nodding their head. He's right. It does happen. It does happen. You're right. Why do I keep going back to that show? And I'm guilty of it too. I've done it. I've gone back to shows. I could think of 2 or 3 shows that I've gone back to year after year, and I'm like, why am I here? I'm like, same old crap. You want to beat your head against the wall. I told you I'm not going to get excited. I'm hiding in the bowels of Pure Focus. So, my next point. I hope we got that cleared up. That was not directed towards anybody. I was not accused. I was not said anything to about it from anybody. I'm excited to be competing in the NPC this year. I'm happy for the opportunity that they allowed me to come back, because I can now continue to strive towards my goal of getting my IFBB Pro card. I'm going to enter the over 50 class. They offer a Pro card for that, and I'm going to go for it. As a little guy, I'll step on stage about 165, 168 pounds. And if I'm in the win my class, hopefully, then I'm in the overall going up against 225-pound guy, so be it. He better be ripped and shredded. He better not just be big, because he will lose to me. Because I will be ripped and shredded. I will be in the shape that I've never been in my life at age 50. So, and you're going to tell me that no, I should not do an NPC show. You want to take away my lifelong dream? Say that to my face. I'm just kidding. My next topic, I promise to be open. This is only going to be a part 1, because I hate when I part 2 parts and no one watches the second part, which was actually the most comical of the video. So if you haven't watched part 2 of that video, I actually laughed at myself numerous times watching that, because I'm like, what the hell is wrong with him? But I'm going to go over, I put out top 10 reasons for competing in the Anbf. I mean, I don't really want to turn this into an advertisement for the Anbf, but what the hell, I'm the president, and I think it's necessary to get the word out. A lot of people know. We're going to have a great turnout down in Roanoke, so those people know. We had a nice turnout in Boca. We had a nice turnout in AC for our first time show. We're going to have a great turnout in Brick in May. I can't wait for that. Texas, we're going to have a hell of a time at the FitCon. The YouTube FitCon Texas Natural. I can't even imagine what that's going to be like. When you got Mark LeBliner involved and stuff, who the hell knows? Like a circus. We're going to need 3 rings for that. But I want to talk about number 10, the top 10 reason why you should compete in the Anbf. If you guys haven't seen it on Facebook, I put a top 10 reasons to compete in the Anbf. So I'm going to go over number 10. I'm going to go over 1 each day, maybe every other day. You guys notice I got my hair cut? I like it. Cost me nothing. Alright, so the top 10 reason. Number 10. It's like the 12 days of Christmas, but we only got 10. 10 days of Anbf. Reduced. Now promoters, listen to me. Reduced ticket prices. Entry fees. and coaches passes. Now I know some guys out there. Mike Halsey does a kick butt job. He charges basically nothing for you guys to enter. Bikini. I mean, he does a great job. Now, the reason, how you can create low ticket prices is you generate more people coming in. It's the old margin over volume for all you retail knuckleheads. I was one of those ones too. Margin over volume. I would rather have less margin and more volume. So you have more competitors, then you could charge less money. Mike gets over 100 people every show now, no doubt. But if you're a person that gets 100 people and you're still charging $50, $60, $70, are you doing the right thing for the competitor? I mean, we set most of our prices at $35, the entry fee, and a $25 crossover fee. Now that's an early bird discount. We offer that at every one of our shows. That's the basic price. Now our California show, expenses were higher. We charge a little bit more, but still very reasonable for that area. We looked at all the different ticket prices. We wanted to be below or close to below the area's ticket prices. Now remember, our shows are straight through, so we don't have that little extra kick from the prejudging. So we charge $35 to enter, and our ticket prices are $30, usually $30, and that's all. That's for the whole show, which could last anywhere from 3.5, 4 hours to 7, 8 hours if it's a big show. So we keep the prices down. Coach's Pass is only a $10 extra from a ticket. So we want people to come. We want you to be able to afford to bring your family, bring your friends. Nobody wants to pay. I mean, I'm looking at applications. I got to pay $70 to enter. You know, you got to pay $50 a crossover. You want to do 2-3 classes, which is recommended. A lot of people want to do more than one class. The more stage time, the better. Next thing you know, they're paying $150 to enter a show, or they're paying. I've done shows $100 to enter. $100. Now again, I understand the NPC. You know, national shows you pay more money. We're not even talking about that. I'm talking strictly the natural shows. There's a show up in North Jersey. They charge $70 for a coach's pass, and that includes a ticket. But $70, and then you're sitting in the audience and there's like nobody there. You're like, well, wouldn't he be better off if his ticket prices were cheaper, and he could fill this place up? It doesn't make sense. So let's have